Leicester 4, Manchester United 2. We are here for the review of Manchester United. Well, let's face it, a terrible loss to Leicester at the King Power Stadium. I'm joined by Ryan Hopper and Alex. I'll start with you, Ryan. You were saying just after the game then, what a fucking mad, confusing, infuriating match that was. Try and explain what we've just seen a little bit there, if you can.
I don't think I can, Joe, to be honest. I can't explain it. Just saying there before we come on, it's just depressing. I'm depressed out of my head, to be honest. I don't understand how you can get back in the game at 2-2, and then 30 seconds later from the kickoff, be 3-2 down from a shit goal, and then obviously 4-2, be getting beat 4-2. I don't know what to say to you, to be honest. Don't know what to say. I'm sure people are angry with the result, right, like us three are. I don't know what to, honestly, I do not know what to say. Performance in patches, thought we'd done okay, but you can't be on top in a game, and not take chances or create chances and expect to be happy with it. I'm not happy with the result.
What did you make of that, Alex?
No, a lot of what he just said, exactly how he just said things. RH just said things. When you go to 2-2, I think, second half, I think we were more balanced than the first. I think in the first we had 50 minutes, we were very good, and 2 shocking at the start, and the finish of the half were poor. I think in the second half, I think we were pretty consistent throughout. I think they kind of switched on to how they were going to press, and they kind of got that right. The goal we conceded was ridiculously poor in the first one from the corner, and then to get yourself back into the game with Rashford, a quality ball from Lindelof, a great goal to get yourself 2-2, and then we said about United lost the heads when we went 3-2 down, and it all went wrong. But we lost our heads at 2-2. We've all got giddy and just gone, we're going to win the game. Wan-Bissaka flies into a tackle, gets booked. Could have been, he's not far away from being sent off there. It's that late and that rash. He's gone out of his way. He's done that there. Absolutely lost his head. We end up losing the goal. He had a good finish by Vardy, but it's a bit of a shambles at the minute, and there'll be all sorts of people about the manager and stuff like that. And look, we've gone through the entire game today saying there's massive mistakes being made. Not necessarily the lineup. I think the lineup today was what probably people wanted. Maybe Rashford to start, but we've got the midfield right. It seemed like it's what everyone wanted to see. Matic, we've said, was probably our best player. Well, I think he was head and shoulders above everyone else in terms of that. But just things aren't quite right. It's not. There's a lot of sulking. I think Ronaldo's kind of heads went down. I think Bruno's head went down and kind of trying too many things.
He was poor today.
Bruno really poor. Ronaldo really poor. I think your wingers in that sense weren't holding the shape, weren't staying wide enough, and all this kind of stuff. I think there was individual mistakes. Whether bringing Maguire in was the right decision, that's another question about the manager.
That's the worst he's been, I think, for United.
Was Maguire 3-4 days too early? I think it probably was. I think he's kind of gone, do you know what, if I can put a half fit Maguire, I'm probably more stable than Eric Bailly, and that's wrong. I think probably as well the reason he's done that is because he's unsure about Luke Shaw. I think Luke Shaw looked very poor, sloppy today. Again, going back to the Luke Shaw at the start of last season, maybe before he kicked on, where he was out of position, giving the ball away. And
he's talking about injuries that he's got as well.
Exactly.
That's the thing. The Maguire thing. Maguire was terrible today, but the other option is Eric Bailly, who's played like 2 games in 8 months. Like we're not certain that's any better, but Maguire was terrible, and he gave the ball away for the first goal. He arguably played someone on for the second or the third.
He set
goal.
the tone with the first minute. 30 seconds in, I know I was taking the piss saying about under pressure and 30 seconds, but he set his tone. His first touch, crap.
The two of them made that
straight
out for a throw in. Set the tone for the game, and I'm not being funny. I know it sounds a bit old school or whatever. These lads saying that they're carrying injuries. Don't play then. Do not play. You've got your Man United, you've got Eric Bailly, he can come in and do a job, whether he's Harry Maguire or not. He's fully fit, can come and do a job. Same with Shaw. I know we don't really want to see Telles play over Shaw, but if he's not fit, he plays. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, and I mean, it almost seems odd to focus on the United goals, but great goal from Greenwood.
Yeah,
and then
brilliant.
Tielemans with a great finish of his own, and then after that it just sort of fell apart a little bit, didn't it? The second goal, was that I can't remember the fucking order.
The corner
that kind of come
big
in.
man, ponytail, wasn't it?
Scoring from the corner, and then United obviously back on track. Lindelof,
It's a great
brilliant
ball
over the top to Rashford. Great touch, like he'd never left kind of touch. and slammed it past Schmeichel. Brilliant by Rashford.
Brilliant.
And then, like you said, just 30 seconds later, straight from kickoff, they run down the left-hand side. And then we've got, Wan-Bissaka takes himself out of the picture completely, which I'm sick of seeing players do. Diving in over and over again. I know he's quite good at that. But just, you don't have to, you can step in without fucking flying through you, man. And then you've got McTominay and Lingard in the box. Neither of them tracking a man. Both just sort of stood in front
How's
of him.
he got his cross out?
And Vardy's just stood behind him. No one tracking him, nothing. It's like we just lost our head. We thought, like you said, we've scored, we're going to win now.
Yeah, but how can you're playing for Man United? How can you do that? Like, I'm not being funny. I could play 7-a-side with old blokes or play on a Sunday. And no disrespect to any of the lads, but you know them from scoring a goal. Get back in your shape, get your head back on it, and go and look to get the winner. But 30 seconds after you've just scored, long ball, Johnny Evans play long ball. Your man Wan-Bissaka snapping someone in half.
Yeah.
Then you've got, like you just touched on there, Jesse and McTominay. How's he got the cross off there? How is he getting a cross off there?
Yeah.
Us three would stop a cross there.
Yeah.
Us three would stop a cross there.
Just not even a cross.
It's a great finish.
It's a measured pass.
And
you don't even have to do much.
Yeah,
with
he's
it.
got a deflected to Vardy, but it's a great finish. But 30 seconds after you get an equaliser away from home,
you're in there.
How
in the box.
how are you conceding 30 seconds after it?
Yeah.
And then the rest is history. The goal at the end.
We just shit ourselves.
He misses it, and then he has a tap in. De Gea kept us in it for a few.
Yeah.
Honestly, like it was. And again, I don't think we played terrible today. Like we've just touched on, in parts we did okay. We played some good stuff, but if you don't create chances, you're going to get punished, and especially good players.
Yeah, we've got a few super chats. Let's run through a few of these. Ammo Rouse says the reason we lost the game is Ollie's selection of Maguire. He was at fault for at least 3, maybe 4 today. I don't think he was at fault for the Vardy goal. Was that the one that he wasn't at fault for?
No, I don't think
He
he wasn't.
played someone on side for the
probably
one?
potentially come on. He maybe.
No. The last goal was Pogba's fault, not heading the ball.
Yeah,
anyway, he was poor. He was shocking today. Yeah. I'm not trying to argue that. I also think that when we bought Ronaldo, it threw our team chemistry. A few people said that. Parky, he said, as if there's people reveling in the fact that we've lost a game just because it might mean Ole's closer to getting sacked. Absolutely pathetic. I think whether you think Ole can win trophies with Man United or not, hoping your team loses games so that the manager can be sacked is insane. That is absolutely horrendous logic to be watching matches, hoping you lose so the manager gets sacked. What is the point in that? If you lose, eventually the manager gets sacked anyway. So why would you ever hope to lose? Surely you want to win every game, because let's say we win every game, we might actually win some fucking trophies. Jacob O'Loughlin says, disappointed and think Ronaldo means that we need a different midfield. McFred and Donny maybe. Praying Marcus solves the problems with 90 minutes. Much love, Paddock. Yeah, we need to sort out a way of playing with that front three.
Needs to have a style and a philosophy. We talk about the top teams like the Liverpools and the Cities. They've got managers that set them up and they know the regimental or whatever, and they've got a style. With us at the moment, it seems 11 players are going out on the pitch and just playing. Yeah, and there's no real pattern of play and no system even in defensively wise. There's no. You're getting like Maddison and Tielemans just doing what they want in pockets, and we're not doing anything about it. Well, I don't know what to say. It's fucking shite.
Cameras says, why do you think we keep losing the ball? Players do not have a set way of playing. Maguire, short, etc. Sloppy. Yeah, like you said, the amount of times when they were just passing through our defence and through our midfield, it's just like, what's being said? That's the thing you have to question. That's the thing I will question with the management. What is being said to our players for what to do when we don't have the ball? Are we pressing? Are we not pressing?
Yeah.
Is Ronaldo meant to be pressing but he's not because he's Ronaldo? Or are we trying to play a way that we're essentially playing with 10 men off the ball? Is Pogba meant to be pressing? No one seems to know what they're doing.
It's just the basics, and Al picked up on it before. If Bruno's going out to press the centre half, we need to squeeze up. The back four need to squeeze. The midfielders need to squeeze up. He's not ratting on his own. If he goes on his own and he pops round it, it's 3 passes. It took one into the older midfielder, another one into Maddison in the pocket. He got on the half turn, slid Vardy in the actual chance. Yeah. That's 3 passes. You're playing in the Premier League. It's Man United. How is that happening?
Yeah, it's awful. A few more super chats. Francis says, disagree with the lineup. Could have used Eric in the lineup and also Donny instead of Matic. Matic, I think, was United's best player
Matic
today,
was brilliant
so I'm not saying
today.
that Donny should have played ahead of him. Understand the hesitation for new management, but with no change, we aren't going to learn better, full stop. Sushrut says, players not at fault. I mean,
Players they've got to take responsibility.
Regardless of what you
Players
think of the
were
manager,
all at fault
you
today.
can't say that players
Gotta
aren't at
take
fault
responsibility.
for conceding a goal 30 seconds after they've just scored one. Players not at fault. This was brutal tactical defeat and poor coaching. I agree that there was
Tactical flaws, but the lads have got to take responsibility.
United have not improved at all from the previous 2 full seasons. Josh Pack says absolutely no structure in midfield. I agree with that. Maguire shouldn't have played. I agree with that. I want Ole to succeed just like you guys, but now we have an improved squad, but gone to shite with our performances. That is an odd thing that needs to be sort of addressed, isn't it? How are we worse than we were with a worse team? Josh Bithell says, I think over 70% of the fan base is Ole out, which is sad. Some fans actually celebrating poor results. It's 3 a.m. in Australia. I'm tired. Cheers, lads. Cheers for staying up, mate.
Cheers, bud.
It's a fucking... It's not one worth watching, that, is it, really? Nathan, watch Maguire on all 4 goals today. Absolutely shocking. Feels like Spurs 6-1. I don't know how I feel about Ole. Now I feel like the sacking is almost inevitable. You know what? I don't disagree with that, to be honest. It does, like, whether I want it or not, I don't know. I feel, at some point, managers get sacked, don't they? I don't think we're there yet. We're 16th of October. No. I think it's too early to be calling for a manager to be sacked. But we can all see what's coming. If this keeps happening,
it's a results-driven business, isn't it?
Of course.
Well, Liverpool next week's going to be that could be that.
Yeah.
Next week, that could be. For as much as we don't want it to, people don't want it to happen. I still not sure changing a manager right now is the right idea. But I think you lose to Liverpool next week, and that is that's
depends on the nature of the game.
The nature of it,
even still, a last minute winner takes us 6 points behind them, which could potentially be 7 behind Man City. Behind, I mean, Chelsea could be 22 because they could be 7 points ahead of us as well. That could be essentially that. That's for the season in terms of challenging for the title. You'd need some unbelievable run to go on, but like I said, the worrying people, the thing that people are saying is that we want to change the manager for that bounce kind of thing. We want to get that. That can't be the reason to do it. If it needs to be the next one in line to come in for that, we need to put. There's a quote there from Paul Pogba saying we deserve to lose.
Yeah, we did.
And I think they completely agree. I think that it just looked sluggish. It looked off it, and it's one of them. Maybe there is something that needs changing because there was a lot of heads down today. There's a lot of when things weren't going the way, shoulders went. Ronaldo was one of them today, which you can't bring in Cristiano Ronaldo and have the sloping shoulders of him going, oh, that's no good. I'm not getting the ball, and him spitting his dummy about a bit. Bruno, the same kind of thing where he's flying about the pitch and not really sticking to a job. You can't have that from your 2 best players essentially, from your 2 most probably experienced players. You can't have that today, and I think that there might be a question of maybe there needs to be a change. I completely agree with that there's that, but I just think that this expectation that just plugging a new manager in fixes everything, and that's the be-all and end-all. I think people said the same thing about when Jose left. I think people said the same thing about Louis van Gaal when they left. There is no guarantee that this change makes things better. Maybe it changed over 6 weeks. Maybe it changed over a season. But long term, does it make us any better? Key, and that's the thing that I think people are not looking at. We aren't like Manchester City in terms of if this happens, if we change manager, they're going to get £300 million thrown at them. They can do whatever they want and change the manager. Chelsea have done it as well. Look, this isn't a thing saying Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hasn't been backed, but there's no guarantee that the next manager gets those signings straight away. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer only got given 75 million a window in net for his first 2 times, which isn't a lot in the grand scheme of things. Well, to build on. It was only last summer that they went, fuck it, go for it.
The season before last, he got given 1 starting player. So Amar says, I think Ole's gone, guys, and it's making me sad. Ajmal says, does RH think Ronaldo is destabilising the whole team chemistry?
No, listen, like I said before on the watch-along, if Ronaldo's available, you've got to get Ronaldo. You've got to get him. If for whatever, you've got to get him. It's just fairy tale that he comes back. But then, if you're going to play him, you've got to utilise his strengths and got to.
Do you think we maybe haven't adapted to him playing there enough?
I don't think that. I think it goes down to the tactical and the systems need to suit him. Like, listen, when he's banging in goals, it's very easy to go, oh, he's settled in really well and this and that. He scored goals, but has he really had a game where you think, Jesus, he's been unplayable today? Or not really. And even today, like. He touched the ball a couple of times, just laid it off, passed it off. Like Al said, he didn't really, influence the game. I know you're not going to get him running around and running long and pressing. I know you're not going to get that. But if anything, the lads need a little bit of a boost. Having Ronaldo around, it's one of the best players that ever played the game. So if you don't want to play with him, then what you even been in football for?
Yeah. Mike Kennedy, struggling to sum up how I feel about the Ollie situation now, hoping he turns it around. Kay Arman, please right, I don't even know if I can read this.
No, we can't.
Please consider Southgate. Never lost a group match. World Cup semis, Euro final. He's very underappreciated. We've got the squad. Give Southgate a shot. Never lost a group match. Well, let's hope he gets to play fucking Andorra and San Marino for Man United.
Who said that?
Don't worry about that.
Just go and look at his Middlesbrough record.
We're not even talking about that.
Barrel.
Omar Imtiaz says there is no solution. What do you do when manager, players, staff, meddling ex-player, now pundits all need to go? I also like bacon and porridge. Interesting. Thanks, Omar. Tom says, why are there so many Forest fans in the chat asking for Ollie to be sacked? Because they've got nothing fucking better to do, have they? Let's just... is there? Anyway, Barath says McTominay was at fault for 2 goals. Yeah, I mean, that didn't help, did it? I guess Matic's legs had gone.
I think the one
player.
thing that kind of maybe didn't expect was that we scored quite quickly after they went 2-1 up, and I think that Ollie had to gamble a little bit of bringing on legs of McTominay. You had to gamble on bringing on Lingard. If you can see into the future and know that Rashford's going to score within 5 minutes, you probably keep Matic on there.
Yeah.
Because from that kick-off, Matic kind of goes, right, lads, just chill for a minute.
Yeah.
It's experience, isn't it?
But you didn't do that.
But even for lads on the pitch, I know I keep going on about it and it sound like a broken record. How are you conceding 30 seconds?
No.
I'm sorry if I keep mentioning it.
There's 11 lads there.
Even a team with
Definitely.
no manager can't be doing that.
Mate,
it doesn't matter whether you've got a manager, whether he's world-class,
man and his dog on the
shit.
side for Sunday League.
Yeah. That's just inexcusable at any team at any time. Solskjaer said, I picked the team. Harry Maguire showed no reaction, and I hold my hand up if that does not work out. If we concede 4, I probably made a bad decision. I think he's right. Kevin Miner says, just watch the players' body language. Pogba performance shocking. Fernandes was head down. Ollie should brace for tougher times. I fear if he loses the Liverpool game, it's done. Abdullah says, I can see Ollie being sacked and replaced like some fans want. New coach has a few bad performances and we're back to square one. And the same fans who got what they wanted complaining again. The funny thing is, if we sacked Ole and got, let's say, Conte, and the most proven probably of the, although Zidane's won more, but you know what I mean? We've got Conte in. If Conte has a shit start, I will be here going, don't sack him. And the same people will be saying, Conte out.
Yeah.
Because they don't dislike Ole, they don't like Conte, they just like
Is it ever gonna
excitement.
be enough?
They want immediate success. And that's the
Man
problem.
United,
it's not about...
we've been spoiled.
We have been spoiled. And, you know, it's shit at the minute. No one's sitting here going... And Ollie, brilliant. And it's been great. It's been fucking awful. And it's just, you know, and I'm not saying that another manager couldn't do better, but it's all about who comes in, why are they coming in, and what happens for the club for not just the next 12 months, but the next 4 or 5 years.
I think if Ollie had an identity and a philosophy, I think people will probably be saying give him time. I think.
But then again, look at Louis van Gaal. It was all philosophy.
It was fucking shite.
The football was shit.
I don't think we have I don't know if you agree. I might be talking a load of shit, but we don't have a pattern of play. We don't know how to play. Like it's just individual. For me, it's just individuals. Whereas again, the top teams, they have the roles, the responsibilities, the pattern of play, it's the attractive football.
Especially off
With
the
us,
ball
we
at the
don't.
minute.
We don't.
Yeah.
Off the ball, especially at the moment, it's been just people like headless chickens. No one knows what to do they?
The pressing thing's basic, isn't it?
So basic. Yeah.
Basic.
Yeah, the pressing like they're not being the press is amateurish at the moment.
It's
one
a basic
man,
thing.
another one goes there. Pogba turns up in a bit, and then it's Matic 1 versus 3. Abdullah, I can see. Oh no, sorry, I read that one. Hypermanic says, regardless of what you think about the manager, honestly, it just isn't good enough. Something has to change. That's true. Aaron Shearer, a lot of new players with different styles. Give it time for the chemistry to grow. Sometimes you have to go through tough times. Philip Glover, I agree with Alex. If we change a manager to get a bounce, but in 6 months we could be in the same thing. We know who's choosing the next manager. Well, that's another point. That's a point. Talking about managers and stuff like that, we've hired, without doubt, the 21st century's most proven manager in Jose Mourinho. At the time, he had won the league at every team he'd managed.
He's a proven successful manager.
He was a proven successful manager, won Champions Leagues with multiple teams, has won trebles, he's done underdog stuff with Porto, he's done staying on top stuff with Real Madrid. You know, he's done it all, and it didn't work. And yes, you can say, well, he's done better than Ole. Yeah, fair enough, he's won more trophies than Ole, and that's better. But winning the Europa League isn't taking United back to the top. Yeah. No one's going to say it isn't a League Cup. So there is no such thing as a guarantee. No such thing as a guarantee. So Conte comes in, we all might think, oh, he's got a good chance of winning the league because he did it for Chelsea, he did it for Inter.
Yeah.
Jose had done more than that. Jose had won all there is to win in quicker time with worse teams, and it still wasn't guaranteed. That's the concern for me. We're moving once again away from, the style of play that Manchester United have played for, or tried to play for the best part of 70 years, and we're moving to a manager that plays 5 at the back, that plays defensively, that plays this certain way that I don't know that that's any better. And again, you aren't guaranteed to see success with that.
And the fans wouldn't be happy with that anyway.
No.
Say if you just come in and they're playing, obviously Van Gaal football was horrendous. You're going to play crap football, then the lads, but then are going to have something to say. But if they're successful, I think it dampens it.
Yeah.
Like if you Manchester United needs to be successful. And we've said about Ollie's season this year, he needs to win something. We've all said that.
Yeah.
And at the moment, we don't look like winning fuck all.
No, it doesn't. And it's one of those. I said the Conte thing that's going to get discussed is that United fans going to be happy when they turn up and it's 3 at the back to start
it's boring.
And then you go, like I mentioned, I said these transfers that Ollie's made, and I think that was the correct transfers in terms of the abilities of the players and the profile of the players. But like I said, you look at with Tuchel, signing players like Pulisic that's played, he's not getting a kick there anymore. He's kind of done with Chelsea because he's a winger, and this system that they're playing right now in front of us doesn't have any wingers in there. So straight away you kind of look at that and you kind of go from there. You look at what they signed last summer in Werner. Now Werner's getting a game today, but they replaced him instantly with a number 9 target man. That's what like Conte would play Ronaldo. It means the likes of, I said, where does Jadon Sancho fit into a Conte team? Does he at all? Wan-Bissaka, does he
Rashford
fit
playing
in?
left wing back all of a sudden.
Does Marcus Rashford fit into that team? Does all this planning that we've done in terms of this and all that? Does Bruno Fernandes fit into that team? Where does that all go? We've spent a lot of money on these players, and do we have to rip it up and start again? In terms of Zidane and things like that, I think he probably plays the closest to what we do now. He played a lot of 4-2-3-1. He played 4-3-3. He's played with Ronaldo. He's played with those kind of players. Maybe that fits. But at the same time, he did it with Casemiro, Kroos, and Modric. Has he ever? He's not managed a team without those 3.
Yep.
So saying he's going to come in and do it, I'm not sure it fixes straight away. Because the first thing he goes is, can Fred the best option?
If United are going to get a new manager, I think it needs to be the sort of a manager that plays a way that resembles what United.
The philosophy of Manchester United.
I mean, you look at Ajax and Barcelona down the years; they haven't always had the biggest names, but they've maintained success whilst playing like Ajax, playing like
and they've
Barcelona.
not gone away from that.
I'd like to think it's not too much to ask for United to try and do something similar. Actually establish a philosophy and try to get the best manager that plays like that, rather than just getting whoever's available like Chelsea do.
Yeah.
But
I know we're saying about a lot of the focus is on Ollie and his team stuff and that, but at the end of the day, 11 players have gone out on that pitch.
That's what I mean.
And they've got beat 4-2 off Leicester.
Roy Keane said that.
Simple as that.
When Ollie come in and he said, look, these players will throw them under the bus at some point. Like they did it before. Now it's a lot of different players. There's a lot of different players that didn't Jose, but you've still got Paul Pogba, you've still got Nemanja Matic, you've still got Victor Lindelof, you've still got Luke Shaw, you've still got the same players that Jose had who said they weren't good enough. That he fell out with and said they weren't good enough and they weren't pulling the weight and they were better players than what they were showing.
Yeah.
And is that the case again? Because today, like you said, Paul Pogba today didn't have the energy to it. Cristiano Ronaldo today didn't have the energy to do it. You had Luke Shaw get himself dragged out of position, being poor and things like that.
Yeah.
Have we still not? We've still not got these players. Have they done it all again? Have they? There's not that core of winners throughout the team. There isn't that core of, today, like you said, when we conceded a goal, give me the ball, calm it down a little bit, and do all those different things.
When Matic went off, that all
Matic went off, and that's
it's
the
just
thing.
shit, isn't
it?
It's
shite.
I sound like I'm being a bit of a hypocrite, really, by saying, about styles and stuff like that. We need to have an identity. But at the end of the day, if 11 players are going out on the pitch and playing for Man United, they need to be a lot better than what they've shown today. It's as simple as that.
Right, that's going to be all from us. Manchester United have lost 4-2, as we're all aware. Very poor. I mean, you know what? For the people hoping Ollie gets sacked, if we keep losing, he will. So you might get your wish.
Results
so
driven
hope
business.
you're enjoying it while it lasts. Right, thank you very much to everyone watching. We'll see you in a bit.